Hey everybody, it's Alex from Old Man Playing Video Games Badly. And we're playing City Skylines, and we're working on the very, very basics of getting you started in City Skylines. If you have never played City Skylines before, or if you played around with it a bit and gotten a little frustrated with it, I'm just going step through the first few levels of a very basic city build to show you how to get over the humps so that you can go and really enjoy playing around with all the things you can do in City Skylines, because there's a million things you can do. It's an amazing game. So let's go have a look and see where we're at and see what we can do. So we just reached Worthy Village, which is 650 population, which got us emergency services, districts and policies, and our first two industries. And these are going to be really important. This is where the money gets made in this game, let me tell you. The next step after this is a big one. We got to go from 650 to 1,000 people. 1,000 gets us a bunch of things. The one after that is 1,800. So yeah, you got to know we got a bit of work to do, okay? So our next one is going to be Tiny Town for 1,000. And we have certain obligations in front of us now. We are going to need emergency services such as fire and police. And we can do some things along. We can start districting, number one. We can start with our forestry and agricultural sectors if we have any. I don't know if we have any on this square. I don't know if we have the ability to have those things because you need to have the resources. But we'll see from there. So let's just do this. And the first thing I'm going to do is pause it. One of the things is, if you come out of those things, the game will start right away on you. Pause the game. Take your time. Do what you need to do. Don't let the game dictate pace and policy to you. You will get in trouble. I'm going to put a fire station here, in part because I noticed there's a fire right there. And we can't quite get the police station yet, but we will soon. Okay. So this is our city so far. We have an industrial area on this side. All the dirty stuff is going to be down here for now. Later on, my personal plan, because we can buy other squares. If I was buying another square and I bought this square down here, which is a very possibly one I would buy, I would just move all the dirty stuff right down by the highway and just call it even. But we're not at the point of buying new squares yet. Don't waste your money on new squares if you don't need them. Work on developing your existing space first. So all we've done so far, in step one, we just set up the interface for the cars to get in and out of our city. And I do call it an interface because the temptation is just to join these together and connect them to a boulevard or to build a big highway down the middle. I discovered this little combination here works very, very well, at least to a certain level. And at this point, it's probably the best way to start your city, so that you don't end up with a massive traffic problem to start with. Now, I am going to finish this little piece of road here, and we're going to point out now, these three little things here are your demand for residential, for commercial zones, and for industrial or offices. Now, we don't have offices, so we're not going to worry about that. We are going to, however, we are going to mark our first district, and we are going to mark this all the way down to the water. And we're just going to make this into an area, and we're going to call the area, we're going to step out of there. We're going to click on it, and we're going to change the name to Newbie Heights. Okay. Now, people are not happy in Newbie Heights. Why are they not happy in Newbie Heights? We don't know. We have certain things we can do, so we'll give them some good water usage rules that should make them slightly happier. We want to watch and make sure that Newbie Heights people are happy. If they're not happy, we're going to want to find out why they're not happy. Okay. Okay, it's going to take a minute for this to fill in, so we're going to have to let the game run. So we'll let the game run. Now, we have a fairly big demand for industrial. So what we're going to do, because we built this other piece of road over here with industrial space on it, is we're going to go ahead and let them go. Industrial creates the demand for residential. Fire trucks there doing a fire truck job. That's most excellent. And you notice our demand for housing is slowly creeping up. So we'll go ahead and open one more square. I don't want to oversaturate it. You don't want to make a whole bunch of available space. You make a little bit at a time and you let them take it. Now, we will pause for a second. We need to check two things here as we're starting. Electricity availability and water and sewage. Water and sewage is fine, but electricity is starting to come down. So I'm going to edge electricity up to the full 100%. The next time that number starts to get tight, like gets to the point where we're down here and we're getting close on electricity, that will be the signal that I need to build a second power plant. But for now, we don't have that problem yet. So we're all good. Now, population is 688. We got to keep an eye on this because we got to get this up to 1,000. And we have to do it before this number reaches 0, basically, because we don't want to go in debt. We're making money again. We're good. Now, if you look at the traffic, you will notice that we don't have any traffic problems at all. Everybody can get around to where they want to go. It's an easy place to move around in. People are not tripping over themselves. They're getting stuff done. And you also notice, and here we'll show you this, you can start to see the people walking around. And this will start to give you an indication of how your population is interacting with your city. If you see a lot of people out and walking around and moving around, it's because they're doing stuff. Ooh. We need to add another lane of water over here. Make sure those guys are happy. That's good. So if you start seeing people walking around your town, right, you know that they are doing stuff. Stuff is actually going on in your town. When stuff is going on in your town, when people are moving around and getting busy, it is a good sign. That is an extremely positive sign for your town. That people are, well, they're living their lives, basically. You can come up with a lot of other ways to explain it, but basically the people are there. They're happily living their lives in your city. Now, I'm going to build a road all the way down to here and across like this just because I want to reserve the space. I don't really need the space right now. I just want to reserve the space so nobody's surprised. Sometimes your population gets really upset when you add a road after they've moved in and they don't understand why you have a road there and they're like, Anyway, I am going to do something now to improve the state of my city. I am going to go into the loans and I'm going to borrow $20,000. And I'm going to do so because I want to build a police station because I noticed that there's starting to be complaints about crime. So we'll put the police station, we'll put it in what amounts to being a fairly central area so we get good coverage. You see the color of the buildings? You want to get as low as possible in your crime rate and you want your efficiency to be as high as possible. So we're all good when it comes to that sort of thing. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, we're going to extend our boulevard out a little further. And I'm going to connect this road here to here. Because I start to have things in this area here, it makes it better for people to come around in a circle. It encourages it so you don't get all the traffic stuck on a single road, because otherwise this one road here is going to get very, very, very busy. So we want to make it so that people have many different ways to accomplish the same thing. So far so good, right? We're already up to 947. We are not far from hitting our goal. We have 14,000, so you know what I'm going to do? I am going to take a community school, and we're going to put a community school about here. And that covers everybody on this side, so now we have 2 educational options. This should really, really help to drive demand in our town for residential, because we want to get to, are you ready for it? The magic number. We're not far from it either. The magic number of 1,000 people. 995, 996, 999, and bing. We're now up to the 3rd level already. So we've made it from nothing to a little hamlet to a worthy village, and now we're up to tiny town at 1,000 people. Now, when you reach tiny town, the game adds a whole bunch more things that you can do. Parks, industry areas, landscaping, event policies, park policies, parks and plazas, and these are very important. Parks and plazas are incredibly important for happiness in your town. A park inside a residential area increases the happiness inside that residential area massively. You have bigger restoration park, you have policies, lots of policies, lots and lots. And we now have paths. Paths are incredibly important as well. These paths, which are underneath this little guy down here, we also have canals if we want to play with the water. These paths like this make it possible for you to connect sections for pedestrians. Pedestrians, if people can move from one place to another, they will be able to get to work, they will be able to get jobs, they will be able to do all those things. The other thing is we should be getting very close to getting the first hint of public transport. Public transport is another thing in this game which becomes very, very, very important very, very, very quickly. So we have, we got playgrounds, we got libraries, we got a high school. High school is important in getting higher education. Higher education matches the needs more of the business, which encourages more business and so on and so on. We have vertical farm, biodome, fish markets, fishing harbors. And these fishing harbors, particularly because we have lots of water around us, become very important sources of income and business. So, thanks very much for watching this video. As always, we try to step you through the first few steps. I'm probably going to go 5 or 6 levels in here just to show a route you can take. But already, if you are at this point here, you're already well on your way to being able to do some things with City Skylines and to have some fun and not worry too much about the bottom line and all the money and all that stuff. And at least not get frustrated by tripping up on the first few seconds. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.